Attorney Jonathan Elson, reminding you that if you've been injured in an auto accident, it's important to have somebody on your side. When you need a lawyer,
then you need Nelson.
Beginning March 6th, Nye County Animal Control officers are going to be taken into and be under the shelter and no longer be under the sheriff's office.
Well, I was contacted by the county commission and they expressed a desire to take over control of the animal shelter, and a few days later it was discussed animal control also. So we are in the works and we are meeting with the Animal Shelter Administration, and we are working the nuances of how that is going to take place. I really don't necessarily see a problem with the animal shelter being taken over by the county and run by the county. When it comes to animal control, time will tell. I have some reservations with that. The problem is interpreting law, working under the law enforcement system, which the animal control is an arm of law enforcement. Like it or not, they do enforce laws. They're just animal laws. Why they think it would be any different than it was several years ago, I don't know. I don't know whether they would be able to facilitate criminal investigations or not. I think that it would be a hard press for them to be able to completely investigate animal cruelty cases, especially to the point of felony charges, if law enforcement is not involved. We have major criminal investigators. We do have Sergeant Morgan Dillon, who has shown interest and desire in the past to investigate these animal cruelty cases and has been very successful in those cases. We are still having transition meetings between our staff and the shelter staff and the county commission and the county manager. As of February 6th, the animal shelter is officially under the assistant county manager. Effective March 6th is supposed to be the effective date that animal control will transfer under the county rather than the sheriff's office. Well, they can contact their county commissioners. They can contact the county manager's office. They can contact the shelter. They can arrange protests, attend the county meetings, attend the Board of County Commissioner meetings, and this is going to have to be on the agenda at some point in time, I guess, and so they can express their opinions that way.
So about 18 plus years ago, I did work for animal control back when it was under emergency management. I went through animal control 1 and 2. I also, in the most recent years, ran Desert Haven Animal Society, which was the shelter before it was taken over by the county. 18 years ago, when it was ran by emergency management, we didn't have quite the crime rate that we had currently. I thought it was a great step up when the sheriff's office took over and started training the officers under their purview, more under the investigative skills, how they had more protection, a little bit more of a show of force in regards to the criminal section of it. I think it was a great move forward for animal control. So I think it was a much better idea to have animal control officers who investigate actual criminal cases, cruelty, things of that nature, to have that as their backing. I think that taking that away from them is a huge step back for that and for the officers and for our community and our animals. We just basically, we would write a summons, we would write a ticket, and it kind of went off into la la land. I mean, we would have to write a summons, you would have to hope to find a deputy that was willing to work with you to do an investigation if they had time, if they had the workload available. So you would have to put all the work in, hopefully be able to find someone that could do the work for you. You would find the deputy or a detective. They would, do that work with you. Then you would hope that they could find a judge to either, write that warrant for you to get more information. If you could get that stuff taken care of. Again, that was 18 years ago. A lot has changed. Whereas now under the sheriff's office, they have a lot more at their fingertips. They have that access to all of the computer skills, everything that they can do. They work hand in hand with those detectives, with those deputies. So it's a much smoother process. Things happen a lot faster, which means that these animals get saved a lot faster. I think that when you start putting political and law in the same room, I think it can get a little slimy. I think the law needs to be the law, and then leave it at that. If cruelty is cruelty, it needs to stay at that, and leave the political stuff out of it. I'm sorry. Animals still have rights, and that needs to be the end of it. I think the people need to state what they want. I think they need to say, hey, we should have a say. I mean, it comes down to, this is our county. This is something that they need to say. If they're not happy with what's going on, they need to speak up. We need to start saying, this is not right. We're not being asked what we want, and they need to start saying it.